I'm on a whole different fucking level. I'm the jewelry king.
Jimmy, what's up, man?
What's up, bro?
Okay, so you see everything now? Looks much better now, right?
All right, yeah.
I'm gonna call Balvin now. Call Balvin. Hold on, bro. Now look at that shit, bro. Look at that. Oh, Balvin, did I show you the back?
I love it when a client has their own idea ready to go. They have the vision, they have how they want it to look. I don't like to see anybody that doesn't understand true art and is an artist.
You see the enamel? And what does it say at the bottom? You know what I'm saying, coño?
Ben is crazy. You know, he's super stressed. He's stressed about everything.
If I'm gonna put my name on this and my name is gonna be hallmarked on the back of this piece, I'm gonna make you the best fucking chain possible. And no one's gonna be able to do it better, period.
He gets so stressed. Balvin, check. Oh, I think it's impossible, but let me see.
I'm doing this piece for J Balvin. I went to the fucking drawing board like 5 times.
Man, pink looks so much better this time. White is like ridiculous. It's so white.
They're like, yo, what's up? How we doing with the chain? Listen, Balvin, wait. You know, it takes time.
There's a lot of fine tuning, there's a lot of manicuring, there's a lot of different things.
So, yeah, I know, boy. You know, I just want to know when it's gonna be ready.
Trust the process, fam. I got you.
Oh my God.
It's an ugly process. It's like when someone sees your car, your Lamborghini, apart in pieces, and the chairs are out and this, that, whatever, and be like, oh, I'm just getting my exhaust done. Be like, bro, stay the fuck out of the crash.
Yo, Ben, chill, my G. This is just jewels.
It really is just jewels at the end of the day. But at the same time, there's a layer to all this that just cuts through deeper. Owning a custom jewelry piece is like collecting art. And in a world where our culture has been suppressed for so long, jewelry is a means of expression and creativity, a symbol of resilience that shows how far we've come. And it's only going up from here.
Well, who am I? I'm a human being like everybody. I do music to fulfill my dreams, and my name is J Balvin, as an artist. The way I was raised, I was born in Colombia, in Medellin, Colombia. I'm always been a big fan of hip-hop culture. So I grew up in that way, like, whoa, you know, the flexing, you got the money, that's cool, it makes part of the story. But at that time, Colombia was really a big problem. We were going through the hardest moments in our story. Flexing wasn't smart. Showing off, it wasn't a good thing to do. At that time, you could get robbed, kidnapped, a lot of stuff. Talking about back in the days. So I grew up being really always low-key, and I'm not about show off because I was just raised in a different way, but I love it because I love it. I enjoy it. Like, I really can rock the chain for myself. You know, I know myself so well that even in the way I express myself, I don't do this for the flex. I do it because it makes me happy. I enjoy the whole process, you know. From the casting, from, you know, when they choose what stones we're gonna use or what color stones, the size, how long is gonna be the chain, you know, how we want it to look, what type of vibe I wanna show. I'm like a kid in that way. I'm still like impressed when I see like colors and like how they do it and how the nature is so beautiful that give us those beautiful stones and how humans start like finding these beautiful shapes with the lasers and giving these diamonds, rubies, emeralds. It's beautiful. Everything that comes from the ego in a good way, it's like that little kid that you have inside, the dreamer.
We used to have dreams, kids, pictures, 4 years old. We always want to be different. It always felt good to be a creator and just create. And with how we are, we hands-on with our music, we hands-on with how our jewelry is, we pick it out, you know what I'm saying? We crafty, we always creative.
Hey! Raindrop, drop top, smoking, no cooking, the hot box.
It's about coming up, you know what I'm saying? We started from the bottom, we leveled up, you know, so we started out with 2 and now 10 chain swing, you dig what I'm saying?
They really shape their own brands. They want to separate themselves from everybody else. I guess it's part of the image, you know what I'm saying?
Everybody like doing the same thing, so now we just gotta come different and quicker.
I'm not gonna lie, I told them don't wear 2 watches. It looks kind of goofy, wear 1 watch, wear bracelets on the other hand. They're like, nah, we gotta wear 2 watches. And they started their own wave with that because I see a lot of people started wearing 2 watches on their hand, you know?
Style is always evolving. If you go back and look at James Brown, if you look at Michael Jackson, there was a moment he had sparkle socks on. You seen him moonwalk. It was like, damn, you know, no one had seen that or done that.
And the cartoon pieces they were doing, they started a wave with that because now a lot of people are doing cartoon character pieces, you know?
Each and every piece, you gotta go bigger. If you do something else, you gotta go bigger than the last piece you did.
I have mixed thoughts about jewelry because I wear jewelry like I wear clothes. I feel like the intent and the purpose of the jewelry, I look at it like buying a Damien Hirst painting and wearing it, or Francis Bacon around your neck. Like, that's what I look at it like. It's art.
You know, everything started with Pharrell and Migos, to me. You know, it's to start about this combination of make art on the Europe pieces. You know, like, I remember Run DMC, Notorious, you know, Tupac, Snoop, Slick Rick, all these guys, you know, like, all these guys were doing, but just were doing big chains, you know, super cool, the ropes and everything. But when Pharrell started doing all this crazy and colorful stones, he's the one who, like, really makes me enjoy all this culture, all this vibe. This makes part of the culture, you know, like, if people don't understand, it's because they just don't want to understand.
For a long time, these labels were always so adamant that they didn't want to be associated with rappers and want to make sure their logos were covered in videos and wanted to detach themselves from the urban crowd.
You know, there's a certain point where the higher-end watch companies like Audemars and Patek and stuff, they just stopped making yellow gold because it was too, yellow gold was what everyone in hip-hop wore. When it comes to certain people, Tiffany, Graf, Harry Winston, and Cartier, it's just too, it's gaudy to them, you know what I mean? It's tacky to them, you know? It's just not, that's not what they represent.
We go baguettes, we go emeralds, we go whichever way you wanna go, baby. Lead the way. You can see this shit from all the way back there.
To them, it's like foolishness.
So often, we're critical of things that are celebrated in Black popular culture that are also celebrated in other dimensions of popular culture that don't get the same pushback. So there's often a gap, particularly when an aspect of Black style becomes popular. We see it over and over again. At least young Black people refused to be cowed by that response. They didn't change their style or behavior because of that response, but just said, okay, you know, we're still gonna do us, yeah.
Like, that's the hip hop aesthetic. Like, I come from the neighborhood where I'm essentially bootlegging your shit, but I'm doing it in such a creative way because I don't have nothing else. I'm doing it in such a creative way that you're forced to recognize my talent. And even though you was trying to hold me back and you was trying to, like, cut me out of the marketplace, you have to recognize that I do you better than you do you. I think that's what hip hop is.
I'm on a new level. 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 Brought me a new shovel. Put these niggas in the dirt. Shame with the new
I feel like Tiffany's is different, and I'm the first rapper to be a part of their campaign And I'm sitting with the creative directors. We're going over different ideas. It says a lot about a brown boy that came from Harlem. It just shows you that we can do it.
God bless ASAP Ferg. I think it's a beautiful thing, man.
It's a kind of, a big FU to white supremacy. And it's also a celebration of the kind of imagination and the resilience that has allowed us to survive.
And the game is changing. We're the consumers. We're the ones with all the followers, wearing all of the fly name brands, spending all of the money that's just coming back to us.
The world is changing now. Like, when we was coming up, it was projects everywhere. Dope boys, they had all the cars and all the jewelry and stuff. It's not really like that no more. The community is changing now, so kids not coming up seeing that.
It's groundbreaking. For me growing up, it was tough as a kid. Like, they kind of frowned upon like different things. Like, if they didn't understand it, they just called it gay or it was weird. It's great to see that finally, like, they understand, the world understands, like the hood understands. The hood is wearing skinny jeans and like, now you see kids with colorful hair. I'm painting you the picture to show you that it was almost impossible to dream that I would be here sitting with you talking about this. This, but like this.
Make some noise if you ever walk past this store and you just knew that you couldn't afford nothing in here. Make some noise for that. The boys and the girls who couldn't afford nothing in here, dreams do come true, you know what I'm saying? So.
The trick is to know how to celebrate that and know how to get the bag, but also know that because ASAP Ferg got the bag and we all happy for him, that doesn't mean that oppression is over. That doesn't mean that racism is over or that everyone got it like that. That's the trick.
ASAP Ferg with Tiffany seems to me to be pretty consistent with what is changing now in general. Young people across the globe think that Black people are cool and hip hop is cool, and no longer was it something to detach from, it's actually something to exploit.
It's no longer a race thing anymore. It's no longer a Black thing. It's no longer a white thing. It's a cultural thing. Everybody is on it. Everybody is a part of it. Everybody is welcome to do it.
Most definitely it's shifting. I mean, hip-hop right now is the most influential music there is. So these brands, for them to be cool and tap into the young culture, they have to. Whether it's the music in the commercials or going to do, brand deals with some of these artists, they have to.
Because they know it, and some of them brands be needing their help, too. It's like these pants, one of my homies made these. I forgot the name, though. I had these pants for a minute, and I throw them on. You know what I'm saying? And I bet you somebody will take a picture of me and a brand and create the same pant.
Equality means the opportunity to develop all of our dormant potential, all of our dormant capability.
All the society is doing is leeching off the ghetto. They use the ghetto for their pain, for their sorrow, for their culture, for their music, for their happiness, for their movies.
Can I ask you about your jewelry and so forth?
Right. I'm glad you brought that up. My ancestors, we was brought over here, we was shackled by our wrists and our necks and ankles. Mm-hmm. But now I turn those shackles into gold, and that offends people.
In the face of white supremacist society, Black people developed resilience and resistance with creative and imaginative ways to survive.
So if you was to study the game of jewelry like it was supposed to be studied, this is how we was advancing.
Steel chains to diamond chains.
People in our country don't have a good relationship with history. They don't understand history. Chains meant freedom for a young Black kid from the hood.
We come from that generation of Mr. T.
And that sort of psychological thing behind it made people feel like it was a symbol of success.
When white people wear jewelry, it's for the same reason that Black people wear it. Each culture, each race has their own way of showing their wealth. I think it's just a way of expressing yourself. Jewelry is movement. Jewelry is appearance. Jewelry is beauty.
Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord.
feel like the pieces is creative, you know what I'm saying? That's your art.
Hell yeah, it's art. This is our way you let them know that we got trophies. We call these culture trophies, you know what I'm saying?
We trendsetted the game. We changed the game.
We blessed ourselves with these so we can show the people how we living.